Good evening and welcome to the Society, our weekly Vaesen RPG campaign. My name is Loki and I will be your game master for these dark and thrilling tales. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this, the premiere episode of Chapter 4, and I hope that we delight, fright and intrigue you with mystery and adventure. So without further ado, let's meet our cast. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dan, also known as Divin Inc., and today I'm playing Dagmar Eriksson, the Vagabond.
I'm Mike. I'm playing Maximilian Fjörbach, the paranormal investigator.
I'm Jack. I'm playing Lieutenant Colonel Bartholomew Seaton, the officer.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm playing Lily Holstein-Romanoff, the socialite.
We have a number of people we would like to thank for all the resources and contributions they have provided to tonight's episode. The link should appear in the Twitch chat or in the details below if you're catching up on YouTube.
Our virtual tabletop tonight is the incredible Roll20, featuring their dynamic lighting feature, inbuilt character sheets, and virtual dice roller. Go check them out at roll20.net. In addition, our battle maps were created using Dungeon Fog and all the amazing assets that can be found there.
Our character art was created by the extremely talented Shusha, who you should go and check out on Instagram at ShushaUK. That's ZSUZSAUK. Our game tokens and dice roller tokens come from the Vaesen RPG rulebook by Free League and from the amazing artist Johan Egerkrans.
The music and ambient sound throughout the stream come from Tabletop Audio and Kevin McLeod at Incomptech, all provided via the Roll20 jukebox. You can check on both of these amazing artists out via the website at tabletopaudio.com and incomptech.com.
Yeah! We always celebrate when we get through that without incidences. Okay. Oh, right. Fab. Thank you. Right. I'm just going to... let me see. Can I... Nope. You're as loud as you're going to be.
Jack, talk louder.
Yeah. Talk louder. Volume. Use your diaphragm.
Or move the mic closer.
That
would
too.
also help.
Let's hit onto that intro video. And we are back from our intro video. So, we are starting Chapter 4 this evening. So it will be Episode 1 of Chapter 4, which is very exciting. Chapter 4, Murder on the Trans-Nordic Express. Ooh, I'm so excited for our first proper murder mystery. This is going to be great. Honestly, I'm so excited. Or it'll be a catastrophe and no one will solve the murder. Which is entirely possible.
That right there is the that's the forecast for the episode, the chapter.
Oh, do you
Max did it. You're not supposed to tell everybody.
All
I'm actually a
right.
robot.
You're actually a robot. Yep. All right. Let's get this chapter underway. So we've got a little bit of housekeeping that we need to do as well. We've got some leveling up that some of our characters can do. So have a little think, characters, because I will throw the question. I will throw the question over as to what leveling up people have done. But let's get the show under the road. Under the road? On the road? God. I've got murder on the brain, clearly. Because I'm immediately like, let's bury some people.
That's very
on the
sus.
tracks. It's not the road, it's the tracks.
Let's bury some people.
On the road, over road, wombling free.
What even is this? We haven't. What even is this? This is just a thing, really. All right, let's do this. Pressing this button. Press this button. Do this. Do that.
Ambience.
Do this. Do that. Hurrah! All right. We join our brave souls gathered around the fireplace in the living room of the Garden mansion. Two of the brave souls had returned from a rather harrowing mystery that had occurred out at Fleckefjord. Having spent some time recovering in Erdegarde, we find the Colonel, Maximilian, and Dagmar enjoying the warmth of the open fireplace, but also discussing a rather unexpected delivery. For the Colonel has received an invitation from an old family friend, a one Magna Samuelsson. The invitation is for the captain. The Colonel. Gasp. I'll never get this right. I apologise. I'm never going to get this right. The Colonel. The invitation is for the Colonel and guests to enjoy an all-expenses-paid trip aboard the maiden voyage of the Trans-Nordic Express, a new luxury train line that has opened up between Norway and Russia, purported to be the most beautiful train journey in the world. The invitation having come at a bit of a surprise, for not only is it directly inviting the Colonel and guests, but as previously mentioned, from a rather unexpected source. The old family friend, Magnus Samuelsson, the owner of the Trans-Nordic Express. Discuss.
First of all, on our approach back to the mansion, was there anybody watching the house?
No, and there have been no other visitors to Espedalen while you have been away.
Cool. That's all.
It is strange. For For Magna to reach out like this, my father had a lot to do with him, business-wise. For him to approach me, well, considering the line of work we find ourselves in, I can't say it doesn't tickle my fancy a little bit.
Well, from what I've heard about your relationship with your father, maybe he thought that you would enjoy the fun of a nice holiday trip, and especially after what we've just been through. My feet could use the rest still after that walk.
Can't say I blame it.
Um, how, um, I, how did that? Dagmar, I'm guessing that you don't mind having a free holiday as well.
I was always brought up never to turn anything down if it's free.
It seems like it's an all expenses paid trip, and that there should be a club car as well. We might be able to drink.
You do know how to tempt me into these things, don't you?
I try.
We also may be able to find some new contacts, especially wealthy ones.
Indeed, we might be able to get some investment, perhaps, into the society.
That's what I'm thinking.
Not just have to live off of what Elstrad catches.
I can tell you it's better than what most of the soldiers get.
True. When do we need to leave?
He pulls out the letter and looks at it a bit closer as I look at the DM.
Yep. Any day now, really. So the Trans-Nordic Express leaves from Christiania. So it is going to be a coach journey to Hidal and then the train to Christiania. So you will need to leave quite promptly in order to get there before the departure date.
Have we got any bags that he's packing?
I go for
I
it.
have two questions, DM.
Uh-huh.
One, should I be able to see things in our interactive map? Because I currently can't see anything.
Yes.
Hashtag awkward. And two, the other question I have is, can I just sanity check? How do I know these two lovely beans? Because in chapter 2, I haven't met them yet.
No, so you will have met as so the two chapter groups all converged here on this place at some point or another at the end of chapter 2. And so I don't know how much time Dagmar will have spent here. I guess that I leave that completely up to you guys as players as to how much time.
That's fine. Just checking.
So I'm guessing we'd probably have had a few days at least here between getting back from where we were in Flekkefjord.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, like probably a week or more.
Yeah. So we've been hanging out for at least a week. I must go pack. I have multiple capes I need to take. This is a train journey, and one must travel in style.
You also bring your smart attire.
Absolutely.
Okay. So it's a journey that you know well. For you have travelled between Hedal and Christiania a couple of times. Dagmar probably hasn't, but Max and the Colonel certainly have. It is a short carriage ride to Hedal, and then it is a rather long train journey. But it isn't an unpleasant one. In fact, it's quite beautiful as the train carves its way through the mountains, over the fjords. The landscape is stunning for the whole journey. And there is a bubbling of excitement among you as the promise of an all expenses paid trip on a luxury train approaches. Although the Colonel does ruminate somewhat on what is going on and why the invite out of the blue. While we do this train journey, we should do our leveling up. So I'm going to kind of go round the board and just ask what people have done for their leveling up. So Max, you are able to increase one of your skills by 1. Which one did you pick?
I picked physique
Ooh, okay.
because I have a dagger, and generally I only roll 2 to 3 dice, so I wanted to increase it by 1 at least.
Okay, nice. Colonel.
I'm putting one into logic.
Ooh, getting some smarts about you.
Older and wiser.
Older and wiser. And Dagmar.
I'm going to put mine into physique as well.
Okay, nice. Been putting in the training, putting in the gym hours.
Clanging and banging.
Oh dear. You arrive at Christiania train station, and there is hubbub upon the platforms, for the Trans-Nordic Express has rolled in and is sitting at its platform waiting to depart. The locomotive itself is a technologically advanced emerald green construction of sleek lines and curves that speak entirely of speed and power. The carriages themselves are all luxuriously decked out, all painted in a similar emerald green with gilded TNEs emblazoned on the doors and on the sides. And from what you can glance through the windows, luxurious curtains and tables and lamps, and all the inside speaks of incredible luxury. And it has caused a bit of a hubbub and a bit of a stir as people gather round to see the TNE, the Trans-Nordic Express, and to just enjoy the excitement of seeing such a cutting-edge, new, luxurious train. The train itself is still being decked out. You can see the cargo carriage is being loaded. The food is still being brought on board by the staff. And you know that it is the departure day for the train is the following day. But your excitement peaks, having seen just how luxurious luxury really means. Spending the evening within Christiania, spending the evening in Christiania, you begin to talk about the excitement and the plans, the luxury of the train, and all the things that come with an adventure. The next day, you head to the station and board the Trans-Nordic Express. Well-suited porters greet you on the platform and take your luggage, guiding you to one of the sleeper cars where your bedrooms are located. And each of you are shown to your own personal room. They are luxuriously decked out with a single bed, a wash basin, private facilities, and gorgeous carpet underfoot. There is absolutely no doubt on the opulence of the train. Where would everybody like to be for the inaugural moment that the train pulls out of the station?
Club car.
Yeah, there is a club car. I will run you through what the train has to offer. There are a number of sleeper carriages to ensure that there are enough bedrooms for all of the guests. There is a passenger car which has private booths that you can sit inside and enjoy the views and the journey. There is a viewing car which has got these almost completely glass sides to it to allow for that panoramic view of the landscape. There is a casino car and a club car and a restaurant car. There are another few cars attached to the train that are related to the staff. So, you know, there's a kitchen and a staff car, and there's a cargo car, and there's a train guard car at the very end. But they're for staff, and don't look anywhere near as opulent on the inside.
I'd like to be in the club car, please.
Okay.
Drinky.
Right, nice. Everybody is going to be in the club car. Lovely.
Yeah, they give champagne on the inaugural exit from the station as such.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay. All right. You head to the club car.
Amazing.
Right. For everybody on there, lovely. I was about to say, for everyone on Twitch, it's like, I promise it won't be blurry in just a second.
I can't see anything again.
Oh,
I can't either.
oh! Fear not. Fear not.
Technical help.
Just need to open my eyes and it'll all be fine.
I see things.
I see things. Love it. Sorry, this is where I just forgot to update that. There you go.
I've opened my eyes.
So, in the club car, there is... the club car is sort of divided in to two distinct areas. On one side are... like cushioned armchairs of sort of like almost velvet with these polished wooden tables, each with its own little table lamp, kind of giving you this really personal, kind of intimate drinking experience. There is the bar in the very centre of the carriage with two long, comfortable couches. And the other side of the club car is a number of standing tables, complete with a piano, which you imagine will provide entertainment of an evening. And these standing tables give the look that they can be moved out of the way to provide a like a dance floor. You gather in the club car, and you find that you are not the only passengers. There is a rather flamboyant-looking gentleman in a three-piece suit with a large flowing cape that is almost somewhat ridiculous. He wears white gloves and has a top hat. And he is joined by a very elegant, stylish woman at the bar. And there are two other guests sitting, having a conversation in hushed tones in one of the little sort of comfy seating areas. And it is a man and a woman.
The bloody barman from Flekkefjord, he survived.
Generic man token number 1.
I shall head to the bar then.
Max is going to lean over towards Dagmar and go, I thought I was the only one with a cape.
I don't know what to say to that. I've never owned a cape.
Would you, I have spares. Would you like, it gives you an entirely different feel when you enter a room.
Not the biggest fan of being noticed.
Okay. If you ever change your mind, though, I have plenty.
Drink first, cape later.
Done.
The barman...
Dagmar's gonna head to the bar as well.
Okay, nice. The barman approaches. Good afternoon. How can I help?
Drinks, please, though. What do you have to offer?
One moment. Let me get you a drinks menu.
Perfect.
He reaches under the bar and draws out this... it's quite tall and thin, folded menu, again in the lovely green colour of the train and carriages, with the TNE embossed in gilt letters. And it lists a significant assortment of beverages.
Scan down it. I feel brandy is in order. Yes. Dagmar, anything for you?
Might as well sample all of the lights on here. Brandy seems like a great place to start.
Max, yourself?
A mead, please.
And a mead, please.
Would that be a light or dark mead? We have a selection.
Can we get one of
Cherry,
each?
please.
A berry one, please.
Of course. One moment, please, sir. And the barman spins around and begins preparing the beverages for you. You see that all of the beverages behind the bar are brand new. So he uncorks the mead and breaks the wax seal that's on the top of the brandy, and provides you with the with the drinks that you've asked for, the 2 brandies and the cherry mead. There you go. Do you require a tray?
I don't believe we should do. It should be fine, thank you.
You are most welcome. Enjoy.
Just looking behind the bar, what drinks have been opened?
Ah, so behind the bar, it looks like a couple of bottles of wine have been opened so far. And there looks to be, well, on the list, there are a couple of ales that are listed. And you can see behind the bar that there is an empty ale bottle. That someone has clearly departed with the contents thereof.
And in my time of being here so far, I haven't seen Magna yet.
No, you haven't at all. In fact, these are the first guests that you've seen aboard the train.
Do I recognise any of them from previous contacts?
You will recognise the man in the ridiculous cape. In fact, I feel all of you would. Maybe... I'm not sure about Max. Max, do you read the newspaper?
No.
Okay. So anyone whose character keeps up with current affairs, i.e. reads the newspaper, you will know this gentleman in the cape. It is the magnificent Hugo Bjornsson, who has taken the stage by storm with his incredible magician act show. He's been plastered across all of the newspapers as this incredible magician, and all of his shows are sold out all the time. I don't think you'd recognise anyone else, though.
Kind of entertainment does not interest the Colonel.
Mm-hmm.
It's gimmicky in his mind. So just seeing him, he'll pick up his drink and Max's drink and walk back over to Max.
Okay.
Dagmar, however, is the opposite.
Stay at the bar.
Dagmar will immediately pick up the brandy and turn to the barman and just say, "Isn't that the magnificent Hugo Bjornsson?"
Yes, I do believe so. Is there anything else that you would like from behind the bar?
Yeah, can I have an ale as well, please?
Of course. And there's like then a little discussion of like the barman holds up a couple of the bottles so you can see the labels and pick the one that you are that you are interested in. And he gives you the bottle of ale, but also like a tankard glass that you can decant the ale into. And then he wipes the bar with a cloth as he heads over to the magnificent Hugo and his guest. And he says, "Can I get you anything at all? Anything else?"
Oh, if you wouldn't mind, could I have another top-up, please?
Yes, of course. What are you drinking?
Champagne,
And
naturally.
tell us who you are. Describe yourself as you stand glamorously sipping champagne from one of those beautiful, like, crystal champagne dishes.
Absolutely. So I'm currently dressed in an ice blue, beautifully sequined, dazzling dress with a fur shawl shrug across my shoulders because obviously it's a little bit cold around here, with a very audacious fascinator with a lily depicted within the fascinator. And I am very much talking to Hugo in slightly flirtatious way, shall we say. And just giggling and enjoying company, but also at the same time surreptitiously looking around the carriage, working out who people are, where their standing is within society, and how they've made it onto this maiden voyage of a train.
Colonel, I imagine that you've basically got your, like, dress suit out, like the fanciest.
I'm in my dress uniform, yes. All my medals are on show.
Oh, okay, this is what we like. Okay. As the barman tops up your champagne, the doors, the double doors at the end of the carriage open, and a extremely well-dressed couple enter into the train. The gentleman holding the door for his female companion, and then joining her, and she sort of demurely clasps his elbow that he profs to her, and there's a little moment where they look sort of down the carriage, making the decision where it is that they would like to sit, and they make their way over to the couches where they both sit down together on one of the couches, and before the lady gets up and goes to the bar, where she waits patiently. They are both very, very well dressed, and for anyone who can tell these sorts of things, these are very well off people. You know, they're high society folks. And in fact, looking around the train, it looks like almost everyone in the carriage is sort of high society. But whether they've just put on their best clothes or not remains to be seen. the barman comes up to the newcomer, and she orders red wine and 2 glasses, returning to the couch with the 2 glasses of wine, and there is a little chink as these 2 people toast and begin to sort of sip their wine, and they have this very kind of intimate way about them. They're very comfortable with one another, and are very clearly a couple. And there's a little bit of laughter that kind of erupts as they're, having their little private conversation.
Do I recognise them?
That's a good question. Give me an investigation check.
Nice.
Way!
What a
First
roll.
roll of the night.
Nice.
So we're getting Charlie to roll every time.
Yeah, I know, right? Charlie, just so you know, there is a help sheet in the game. I'll just pop it up and then I'll get rid of it. It lists off what all the skills are, but it gives you the bullet points for what you can do with your extra successes. Investigation doesn't have anything in particular with extra successes. It just means that I give you more information.
Wicked. Thank you very much.
This is Mr. No, it is Dr. and Dr. Varland. Dr. Thomas Varland is a well-known surgeon, and he appears at a lot of these very swanky functions because he is the surgeon for the rich and famous. That's what he is. And that's why he appears, as the rich and famous very regularly invite him to kind of show off that, they have his services. His wife, Dr. Caroline Varland, is a renowned midwife and child medicine specialist, so like pediatric doctor. And those two are like they're nigh on inseparable. If one of them is at an event, the other one is guaranteed to be there. So you recognize them from your regular attendance in high society gatherings.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
You also recognize the woman who is sitting over here with the gentleman. You recognize her as well. She is called Annette. Annette Sandol, I think. Sando. Her name is Annette Sando. Her husband held a noble title, and he had a rather unfortunate hunting accident many years ago, which ended up with her becoming a very, very, very wealthy woman. She did, however, renounce the noble title that she held, and the kind of the gossip about it all is she was basically paid to go away by the noble family. So they basically gave her everything, and she gave up the title. That's the rumor. The gentleman she's with, you don't know. You don't recognize him. You've not seen him in high society.
Brilliant, thank you.
The couple that arrived, did they acknowledge me at all when they were arriving and stood at the bar?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
No, you...
Rude buggers.
Dagmar gets the feeling that Dagmar has been misidentified as a member of staff.
Dagmar's going to pour the ale, all the ale out into one of those tankards, drink it back exceptionally quickly, lift the brandy, and walk over to the magician.
He is having a rather awkward conversation with Lily, where he is clearly bragging about how his fame and his fortune, and Lily is fawning over it like a cat with the cream. Like, she is fawning over. And the more he talks about his fame and fortune, the more interested she seems to get. But it's one of those, like, you like every now and then, like a little, like, just this, she'll just like sort of giggle, laugh about a joke that really isn't even funny. As you come over, he kind of ignores you. Just sort of continuing to chat with Lily.
Dagmar's going to go full fangirl here. And just do it. I'm very sorry to interrupt, but Mr. Björn, have I said it right? Björnstrom? Björnsson. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Björnsson, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time. It's a pleasure to meet you and be on the same amazing voyage with you today.
He turns and he gives you that look. Like, it is the look of, like, ooh, like, oh, one of the peasants was talking to me. It's like that kind of look. And he sort of does a bit of a half smile and then goes, "It's the magnificent Mr. Bjornsson. The pleasure is all mine. Did you want an autograph?"
No, not an autograph. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Dagmar. I just wanted to say I'm a very big fan of your work. I'm in particularly fond of the early things you used to do when you had the magic trick known as hide the sausage.
Ah, yes. That went down very well and really was one of the cornerstones of my performance.
But Hugo, you have not shown me that one.
Lily, I don't know your name. Dagmar's going to turn to this beautiful woman in this kind of moment of, my God, so fabulous. I could not recommend it enough.
Oh, I do love his tricks. They are quite magnificent. But yes, I have, it's sad to say, I have not seen all his early works. So yes, oh Hugo, you must show me at some time what that is. Show me that wonderful trick, this gentleman. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
My apologies. I'm Dagmar. Dagmar Eriksson. And you are?
I am Lily. Lily Hostin Romanov.
Well, Lily, I will make you a promise here at the bar. And he takes your hand. I will perform my famous hide the sausage trick for you this evening.
Oh, I
Oh,
good.
could I be so bold as to watch?
Oh.
Oh, well, I'm... he turns...
My apologies. I got overexcited at the splendor of meeting someone I've been in awe of for such a long time. I do apologize.
Well, I wouldn't want to get in the way of your duties.
Duties?
Well, yes, your duties aboard the train.
Oh no, I'm not staff. No, I'm a guest on this train with my colleagues, and I gesture towards the end of the train at the Colonel and Max, who's waving furiously.
You're friends with the gentleman over there with all the medals on.
Yes. He's a wonderful chap. It's Lieutenant Colonel Bartholomew Seaton.
Oh. He looks a very
But please,
interesting chap.
they are very... May I propose we all meet later for drinks to get to know each other? I feel somewhat that I've intruded on your conversation, though.
That would be splendid. I love to meet new people.
The magician, you can tell the magician's now like mortified that he thought Dagmar was a member of staff, and he will say, "Well, please do forgive me for my assumption. It would be my pleasure to dazzle you with my magnificence while we are aboard the train."
Maybe you can get them to participate in one of the shows. Be your assistant for one of your tricks as a apology, Hugo.
Dagmar drops the brandy glass out of sheer excitement.
I mean, Hugo turns to Lily and he's like, Now, Lily, you don't want to put undue pressure onto people. They may not be stage people."
Yes, please.
And then there's like that frown that, there's that frown that someone gets when they're just like that split second of just like, ugh. And then it's replaced with a smile, and he turns and he says, Then, Dagmar, you shall be my assistant."
And I'm going to do one of them sort of like little silly sort of like type claps.
And he does
Dagmar's going to go full.
he does a little bow, he does a sort of little gentleman's bow, and as he does so, he then does a ridiculously grand flourish of his cape, and out of thin air just produces you another glass of brandy. It just materializes out of thin air in his hand, and he hands it over to you with that look of like he's now expecting a clap.
Which Dagmar definitely will respond as such. Very happily take the glass of brandy. So, I'm very excited. Like I said, I'm sorry I interrupted. I wanted to introduce myself. Please let me leave you to your conversation, and it would be great to bring my colleagues over to meet you all later before you put on a show. Thank you so much.
He nods at you and smiles, and he's like, well, enjoy yourself in the meantime.
Yes, and don't forget to bring that Lieutenant Colonel with you, will you? And I'm going to peer over and sort of look at him and sort of half wave in some vain hope I can catch.
The Colonel's attention.
That was going to give a kind of brief, thoughtful look of, but then shake it off because they've just met like someone they're like absolutely idolized. Dagmar's going to make their way back by the bar, back towards their colleagues. But as walking past the barman, holding the glass of brandy, just turn and say, someone appears to have made a mess just down there. Just to make you aware, and then keep walking.
He turns and like produces a dustpan and brush and starts coming, like he comes round the bar, lifts up the bar flap so that he can tidy up. Hugo's gonna turn to you, Lillian. It's just gonna say, well, I meet many fans, many fans, all of them adoring. But I must say, they were one of the strangest.
I'm sure, but they look harmless. They're not going to do anything. You must support all your fans. They love you so much that you must do that. And you handled them so well, especially when they made such a mess on the floor.
Yes, you are right again. Your kindness knows no bounds.
I mean, it was very fortunate. I mean, it has missed the bottom of my dress. Otherwise, I'd have to have gone and got changed again today. It's just been far too much for me.
Well, good fortune that it didn't get your dress. The door to the carriage opens, and a rather stout-looking, much older gentleman enters into the carriage, and he is wearing like toned back church robes. So he's wearing all black, but with the the white cravat on the front. And he closes the door behind him, looking around the room with these little half-moon spectacles that he has. And he sort of surveys the room before making his way to the bar, where he orders a drink and then returns to sit, like, in the farthest seat from you all. By this point, the train has well and truly left the station and is now blazing the way through the countryside. Well, it's blazing its way out of Christiania. So you're getting that incredible technology industrial cityscape slowly fading back into the countryside as you exit out of the city and head out into the countryside. This time, another door, a door opens on the other side of the train, and a young gentleman in a suit comes into the carriage, and he stands at the door and says in a booming voice, "Good afternoon, gentlefolk. Please, will you be upstanding for your host on the train, Mr. Magna Salmonson, who would like to say a few words on this, the maiden voyage of the TNE." And he opens the double doors, stepping back out of them, allowing a rather old gentleman with a cane to sort of shamble onto the train. He clearly the cane is a necessity, not a fashion accoutrement. And so he sort of shuffles into the train carriage as you all stand. You hear a few people giving a little clap for him, and he sort of nods his head, and he walks over towards the piano and props himself up against the bar. And you can see he is propping himself up against the bar. And he says, "Good afternoon. It is my absolute pleasure to host you all aboard the Trans-Nordic Express. The maiden voyage, no less. I want you all to make sure that you are beyond comfortable. I want this to be an experience of pure luxury for each and every one of you who I hand-selected as my elite guests. So please, enjoy all that the TNE has to offer." And there's applause there's applause that comes up from a few people in the train. And then you notice some people return to their own conversations. The barman comes over to serve Magna. Most people return to their own conversations. Annette Sando, however, it makes an absolute beeline, like a torpedo, for Magna Salmonson, where she almost drapes herself half across Magna and half across the bar, laughing at his jokes, and just generally conversing. Most other people kind of in their own little conversations.
I will knock the remainder of my brandy back, place it on the table, and I will pull my uniform taut and try and make myself look as presentable as possible to then walk over to Magna. And Magna, it's been a long time.
He looks up from his drink and Annette, and looks at you, and there's a little moment where there's a little bit of puzzlement in his expression, and then he says, "Is that you, young Bart?"
So young anymore?
"No, I guess not. None of us are getting any younger." And he kind of waggles his walking stick to kind of emphasize the point of that he is also quite old.
How have you been?
Same old, same old. Nothing much changes. That's why I have to keep doing these little side projects like the train. Got to try and keep my old mind working. How have you been? I must say you're looking rather distinguished in your uniform, and there's significantly more medals since the last time I saw you.
Yes, I believe it was the India campaign when we last spoke before the Napoleonic War.
Ah, yes, the blasted India debacle. It took forever for those profits to come through.
On both our sides at that time. Especially with the intervention of France at the time, it started to become more and more difficult.
Yes, the bloody French interfering with business as always.
Well, you seem to be doing well for yourself. This train is an example of luxury.
Well, I do hope that you will let your hair down and enjoy yourself.
I will certainly try. But business has been good for you.
How is your father these days?
As you described, the same as yourself, trying to keep his mind busy and finding it very hard to relinquish control of said business. He wants to keep his mind as active as possible for as long as possible.
A shrewd businessman is your father. Shrewd indeed.
Very much so. And this wasn't the line, as you know, that I intended to follow.
No, you never did have a head for maths or business. Far better with a rifle.
Yes. But situations change, and I have a good team of experts I surround myself with who can help with the mathematical formulas.
Magna is gonna look over at Dagmar and Max. What are you two up to while the Colonel's having this conversation? Halfly because I expect both of your answers to just be nonsense. Like, Magna's now looking over at you two as the experts. This panel of experts. What are you up to?
I was just gently earwigging the conversation and
Have you got a drink in each hand?
no, because I've already downed my beer, but I've still got quite a lot of brandy. So when Magna makes eye contact with me, I do a simple.
And what's Max up to at the back?
So Max is picking up his glass and looking at the outside world through one eye, through the liquid, and being like, "Is this?" I'm kind of doing like, and then taking notes, and then trying the other eye and being like, and then taking more notes, and yeah, and then every now and then a swish and a flick of a cape.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Magna is going to kind of chortle and look back at you, Bart, and say, yes, experts indeed.
You and I both know that experts do not always appear to be, don't normally conform to the standards.
At which point Dagmar's going to hiccup very loudly.
Well, it's a small wince.
there's another little chortle, and he says, "Yes, fair enough. You make a very valid point. Some of my most exceptional staff have been a little exceptional themselves."
We'll kind of look over his shoulder at the magician. Here you go. And just kind of like, and you seem to have a specific eccentric taste in friends of late.
He is very successful. I'm sure you've seen in the newspapers.
I have indeed, though parlor tricks are not... I've never been something I've been interested in.
No, but society is lapping them up, and it's very much lining the profits of those that fund.
We have contacts with certain guilds that we are supplying to that deal with the magicians.
Yes, the arts. If you can get it right, you can make money, but often it's a bust. And then Annette, this woman who's still partially draped over Magna, is going to be like, "Aren't you going to introduce us? It's a little rude, don't you think, Magna?" And he looks as if he'd completely forgotten she was there, and then says, "Yes, of course. Annette Sando. This is Bartholomew Seaton."
Pleasure, my lady. I just bow my head down and reaching for her hand.
Oh, she hands her hand over. "Oh, no, the pleasure is all mine."
And I will go to kiss it, but I'll leave my lips apart from her hand, not actually kissing it. And let it go.
"Oh, those manners. You must be from Britain."
Is my accent that obvious?
"No, it was the chivalry. And all those medals. You will have to tell us about them. I'll want to hear all the ghastly details."
I will give you a sensitized version of events. And some of these medals are not for the faint of hearted.
"Oh, don't worry, my heart's not that faint. I've got a strong constitution."
I will turn my head back to Magnus and go, "Well, it was a pleasure seeing you again, and we shall catch up further on this train journey."
"Yes, I would very much appreciate that."
Thank you for the invite. I feared that we had become estranged.
"You're more than welcome, but you can thank me by enjoying yourself."
I shall certainly try. Magnus?
"Attaboy!" And he
My lady?
kind of claps you on the shoulder, but it literally, it's like, you know, this old codger's made of tissue paper at this point.
I'll bow my head to Magnus and then bow my head even lower for Annette. You know, it's another time, my lady.
"Oh yes, we've got plenty of time aboard the train."
And I will turn back around and head back to Max. Who is he? Are you still looking through your glass? I'm just gonna get.
And earlier on, when Lily was trying to wave at you, I was waving back at her, like, hi.
I have a feeling like I was completely looking out the window at something different. I wasn't even in the.
Mm-hmm.
As you return,
Just
as the Colonel returns to Max, Dagmar's just going to look at these both at the bar with still with some brandy and just give a slightly poor farewell in a very bad attempt at being eloquent. And farewell, lovely people, and then stagger off.
As the Colonel gets back, he kind of just lets out this really subtle breath that he's been holding the whole time. Well,
Is everything okay?
better than, strangely, old business contacts that go out of touch can sometimes cause bitterness.
Oh,
My old man is stubborn, to say the least.
you have an old man. Where do
My
you
f-
keep him?
He's my father. He is back
Ah!
in the state.
Right, I understand.
And the two had a disagreement. Broke off business ties and we haven't spoken since. So, to be greeted as kindly and warmly as that was certainly a surprise.
Pleasant one, I hope.
As you're saying this, Magnum kind of launches himself off the bar and back onto his walking stick. It looks a little bit like he kind of has to push off like a boat in order to like get some momentum going, so that he can then like get the tempo for walking and the stick. And he sort of wanders into the middle of the train and he says, "You'll just have to give me a few moments. I'm still making sure everything is organized and ready for you all. But please, enjoy the drinks and the beautiful countryside, and I will see you shortly for dinner." And then he begins to wander past you all, and then through the double doors, and out of the club car.
I feel there's an ulterior motive for us being, or for myself being here. It's a
Like what?
great. My father and I work in steel. We ship steel back to Britain. The Napoleonic Wars was very profitable for us. This train would have taken a lot of steel that we would not have funded. Oh, indirectly we may have. It may mean that his supplier is not as good as he thinks. Or he's looking to get a better deal. This may be more of a business trip than a luxury one for myself. And Max, what are you doing?
Watching. One eye is better than the other.
Yes, we've discovered that when we were first training with our rifles.
Did you look through glasses out of windows as well with drinking?
No, but we would practice with keeping eyes open when shooting and eyes closed versus. At one point, there was talk of trying to add magnification on top of a rifle, but so far I found that hard to do.
If you shoot with your eyes closed, you'll always miss, though.
Maybe that's my problem.
Ah.
So I'm curious, does the image change if you have a different shaped glass?
I believe. Could I borrow yours? You have a different
Yes.
glass to me. Yeah,
I've just finished mine. I'll go get another one as well.
perfect.
Dagmar's going to go to the bar and wait patiently.
As this experiment of optics unfolds aboard the club car, and Lily, as you hobnob with the elites, the train plows through the countryside. Eventually, the young gentleman in the suit re-enters the carriage and announces, "Can I have your attention, please? Honored guests, the restaurant car is now open and dinner is ready to be served. If you would like to bring yourselves and your drinks, that would be much appreciated, and we can have the first meal aboard the TNE." And he spins round and opens the doors. And you can see the little gap in between the club car. So the way that these trains carriages are all arranged, there's at either end there's a little corridor that has the doors that go off of the train, and then there's the doors that join between the carriages. And this young gentleman opens the main doors out of the club car and kind of gestures for everybody to make their way to the restaurant car. So, all the other guests do get up and start making their way, down the train carriage towards the doors. Is everybody going into the restaurant car? Lovely. Give me a moment
Why not?
While I maneuver you through. All right. So you are making your way into the restaurant car. You arrive in a little cramped space. It's got a lectern on it, which you imagine will be, when there are lots of guests on here, this will be where you come, and the waiters will come and do the tables and take you to your table and all of that sort of thing. You hear the young man's voice behind you say, "Please make your way into the restaurant to allow the other guests to filter through. You may sit wherever you wish."
Dagblock, Colonel, would you like to pick us a table?
I can't see the cart.
No, the doors are closed, Lucas.
Yeah, but that's because no one said they'd opened them.
Oh, yes, I
Okay, so, Colonel, you open the doors. It reveals, in the room beyond, a long carriage with opulent tables and elegant chairs, a long, rich red carpet running the length through the centre. Sprawled in the centre of the train car is Magna Samuelson. He is laying on his back, his cane scattered and abandoned on the floor. And upon his face is a look of such intense and horrific terror that it chills all of you to the bone. More so when you realize that he is white as snow. There are gasps from the guests. There is a scream from behind you as you open the doors, and it all sort of happens all at once as people spill into the room and the other guests come through. Shock ripples through the train.
I will position myself here and just put my arms out, stop anyone from getting past, and just say, ladies and gentlemen, there seems to have been a accident here. If you can give us a moment, I would like to call for the doctor. I've forgotten. I haven't got.
Yeah, one of them. Thomas.
Dr. Thomas, if you would be
An
so
accident?
kind, please.
What kind of accident? You hear that kind of ripple through all the guests, and then you hear Dr. Thomas go, "Excuse me, let me past." And he squeezes his way kind of through the gap, and he hurries over to Magna kneeling on the floor, and you see him like check for a pulse and that sort of thing.
I would like to almost grab Max and kind of push him to follow through with the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep an eye on him, Max, as I just kind of push him past.
Yeah.
No problem.
And still maintain my position of stopping anyone else from trying to get through.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if there's anything you require, sir.
Right at this moment, I just need quiet.
Will everybody sit down and shush?
It's only like a minute, but it feels like it drags on for an agonizing eternity. When, in a strange, seemingly slow motion, the doctor looks up at all the guests. And before he has even said anything, his face tells you everything you need to know. His voice cuts through the silence of the trepidatious breathing. And he says, Magna has died. And it is there that we are going to go for a break. So we're going to have dun dun dun
Gasp!
gasp.
Oh, it's me.
Clutch those pearls. Okay, we are gonna go for a quick break. It is
9:30.
about 9:30. How do crew feel? Would you like 15 minutes, 20 minutes,
1:45.
15?
15
Yeah.
is fine.
15?
15's fine.
All
yeah.
right, we will have a 15-minute break then, and we will be back at 1:45 to continue with the mystery. We will see you then after our quick break. Hello. We're back. We have rolled our hit dice, we've had our health potions, we've had some consumables, and all the really important things. And we are ready to pick up on the mystery most foul. Where are you all? Here you all are. Lovely. Right. Just before the break, we had discovered the dead body of one Magna Salmonson, the owner of the Trans-Nordic Express, who was found by you all as you went to dinner, dead in the restaurant car, pale as snow, with a look carved onto his face that was pure, unbridled terror. The doctor has just confirmed that Magna is dead. Shoop, shoop, shoop.
Just because we're that group of people, has he eaten the salmon mousse?
I mean, he hasn't eaten anything yet.
Never stopped the other one.
Is that better? That's better. Okay. As the doctor says Magna is dead, what will you do?
Are you sure?
I am certain.
Okay.
He
Go and sit down.
Deceased.
I will turn back to everyone. If you would please make your way back into the bar cart, sorry. And take a seat there. We will just be a moment to try to sort this out.
All right, I'm going to need you to give me either an inspiration or a manipulation roll to convince everybody to kind of do what you've said.
Well, this ain't gonna go down well.
I'm so excited.
He's not a child.
Yay, it's a jack roll!
Here we go, everyone. Hold on to your hats.
It's definitely a jack roll.
Surprise, surprise.
This is why nobody helps nor hinders Jack, because it's a waste of a roll.
Yeah.
Can I intervene with an attempt at inspiring everyone?
Well, as the Colonel says that, there's suddenly like these little like outbursts from people who are like, we should get the guard, and has he been killed? And all those sort of questions. They completely ignore you, Colonel. They're all like pressing in the door, trying to get a look and throwing in all their like what they think may or may not have happened.
I stand in front of the Colonel and I go, darlings, we can't all look, and it's got to respect what our wonderful Thomas is trying to do here. Shall we go back and all get a drink and let ourselves settle down and get all of this sorted before we carry on with this exquisite journey? Come on, let's go.
Okay.
And I want to try and shove him out the
Are
door.
you gonna? Yeah. Give me that manipulation roll. I'm so excited for this.
Do I add anything to my modifiers?
No.
No, lovely.
Yay! That's a lot of dice.
I have been looking forward to that, seeing that roll.
I was like, please do it for me.
God. There's like the sounds of people kind of acknowledging, and people start making their way out of the train. And it leaves like the four of you and the doctor.
And I walk up to the door and shut it and go, there. That should keep them at bay just for a little while.
The Colonel has a smile on his face and just goes, "Why, thank you, lady. I am Lieutenant Colonel Bartholomew Seaton, and you are?"
I instantly proffer my hand to be taken. And go, I am Lady Holstein Romanov. I
will
was hoping
take
to
the
meet
hand.
you, but not on these unfortunate circumstances.
I will take the hand and do the same again. Yes, it is unfortunate. Please, you've been a help so far. You seem to have a better way with words than myself.
It's being around all these people for so long, you learn the ways to make them do what you need.
I'm much better at shouting at people.
There is need occasionally, but they're normally subtle ways of getting what one wants. One needs people to do.
Dagmar, lovely. Could you perhaps grab one of the lovely attendants? Maybe two? Just thinking, there's been a fair bit of drinking, and now of course dinner's going to be late. I'm just trying to think of people drinking and not eating. We might want to get some snacks around people.
The door opens and another member of staff comes in. And this one is the train guard. Go on, Dagmar.
No, you're fine.
Sorry, I meant I was like, and I saw that opportunity and I ploughed right in with storyline.
Absolutely fine.
I'll see the guard come in and go, "Oh, good man, if you could follow me, please."
Oh, let me just. I'll just squeeze into the train seats.
Do, and then stand to one side.
Yeah, and the guard sort of comes over and kneels down. And he says, "Who found him?"
We all did.
What, all the guests?
I opened the doors and he lay on the floor here while we all waited to head inside.
Who was the last to see Magna?
So far from what I can tell, probably the serviceman who told us the dinner was ready.
Right, well, we had best move Magna somewhere else. And, Doctor, do you think this is foul play?
Cue the knife that's sticking out of his chest. No, not foul play.
I'm afraid I'm not sure. There's no obvious signs of attack or anything like that, so this could just be a natural demise. I'll need some time to investigate the body to try and work out whether this is suspicious or not. Might I ask for your assistance in moving Magna out of the restaurant?
Dagmar's going to offer assistance.
My dear Thomas, Magnus does look very pale. I did not think the deceased was that pale so soon after death. That that's strange.
You are right there. It is rather odd. But we'll get to the bottom of it. And the doctor and the guard and Dagmar kind of all sort of help to pick Magna up and begin to lead Magna, carry Magna down the carriage and across into the staff part of the train. And in a sort of strange and possibly slightly gruesome chain of events, the decision is made to put Magna in the cold room where the cool food is being kept.
So this seems very hygienic.
Oh yeah, pop in with the jellies.
So, I know, right? Best place to put a body with the food.
Yep.
Is this at the end of the train then?
You're getting close to the locomotive. So you're getting
Okay.
close to the really front of the train.
And I can't remember quite how this played out. Maybe some of the other people on this will be able to remind me. But the person who came to announce that we could go through to have our dinner, did they walk in from the dining car and then walk back, or from the other side?
They walked in from the dining car.
Okay.
Alright, so you all maneuver Magna into the kind of the cold room, and the doctor is there. The train guard is then going to say to you, Dagmar, we're gonna need to head back to the club car, all of the guests together. Do you think you can assist in corralling them?
Of course. Yes, that's a very good idea. I think it would be a good idea to bring members of your staff as well.
My thinking is to question the staff and the guests separately. I don't want to put any undue pressure on them fancy on the guests. Right, this way then. Doctor, if you think it might be suspicious or foul play, please let me know at the first opportunity. The doctor doesn't reply. He's just concentrating on his work. And he leads you back to the restaurant car.
I was going to say, just as I go through the kitchen, and one of the members of staff there that clearly just watched us walk through a body, I'm just going to ask one of them very briefly did one of the train staff or the floor announcer come by here very recently? Did they walk through this cut? I can't remember what you'd call the guy who come and go, dinner is served.
Yeah. The kitchen staff person's going to say, I didn't notice anyone coming in and out of the kitchen car, but I mean we're quite busy.
Okay.
While they've been gone, did Magnus have his cane on him?
The cane was just abandoned. Just abandoned on the floor. So it's not right next to him. Or it wasn't when you found him.
But how far away from him was the cane?
I mean, far enough away that, it could have rolled that far. Or been maybe thrown that far. Like, it's not at the other end of the carriage. It's, you know, like, sort of rolling distance or like a chucking distance.
I'm just gonna move over to it to pick it up, but while I'm kind of going, I just want to keep an eye out for anything that, like, either the carpet's been scuffed up, if there's any blood on the carpet, anything
There
along
is
those
no
kind of-
blood anywhere.
And the cane itself
Yeah.
seems intact.
Yep.
Is there anything, as walking through, Dagmar's just looking next where the body was, is there anything under the tables and chairs of note?
No. There is nothing in here that sort of stands out as being out of place or a clue. And now that the body has been moved, you would never even know there had been a body here. Like, there's no blood, there's no damage to any of the furniture, like nothing like that at all.
Does this cut have any? They're not windows. They're sort of like hatches for air vents, aren't they? In the old trains. I, again, don't know the correct terminology for it. Does this cut have any of them, or is it a solid roof?
It does have. It does have the sort of push-up vents to let air flow into the carriage, but none of them are open. They're all closed. And the guard is going to walk up and be like, "Could we all make our way back to the club car? We're going to need to round everyone up and then make an announcement."
As I'm leaving as well, is there anything of note around the doorways, like had it been scratched or damaged, or this thing just above my character piece here? Is that like a guest ledger?
Yeah, it does look like it would be a guest ledger or like a table reservations kind of thing, but it's brand new. Nothing's been written in it.
So it doesn't contain a list of all the guests that are on
No,
this train?
it doesn't, because it like they don't need it, because there are more tables than there are guests. So they're not going to need to do reservations or anything like that, because it's such a small elite party.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you all make your way back to the club car?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh, right, here we go. I'm sorry if I've put anybody on anybody.
Oh, hello.
I'm going to make my way and sit over here.
Position myself next to the guard and near the doors.
I want to be sat.
All right, gentle folks, I've got an announcement. If we can keep it down, please. An unfortunate event has occurred aboard the train, and Mr. Salmonson has passed away. The doctor's having a look now to see if there's any cause of death that we can identify. For the meantime, can I please ask you all to stay aboard the train? Please don't anyone alight at any point. Until we know whether this is a natural death or is suspicious, we'll just all have to stay aboard the train together. Now, we ain't going to be able to turn around and go back to Christiania, because there ain't nowhere to turn this long train around. We're going to have to carry on to the next station. And we'll just be able to deal with with the authorities and anything else when we get there. Okay? I don't have any answers to the questions, so please don't ask me any right now. All I can say is please remain calm and continue to enjoy yourselves on the train. I'll give you an announcement if we get any more information. As the guard of the train, I'm going to talk to all the staff members first and see if I can get any information on what might have happened. After that, if it is felt necessary, I'll be able to come and ask all of you guests questions as well. But for the meantime, just enjoy yourself and I'll talk to the staff. If anyone knows any information or anyone sees anything suspicious, please let me know as soon as possible. And then he turns to the young, the guy in the suit that was announcing dinner. And he says, Viggo, find out if the guests want to eat in the restaurant or whether they would like to eat here. And let the kitchen staff know, okay? I'm going to go and start asking questions. I'll be in the kitchen car if you need me. And he turns and makes his way out of the carriage. Viggo, the young guy who announced dinner, turns to everybody and says, dinner is still ready to be served. Would people like it here or in the restaurant?
I'm okay here, thank you.
I was going to say, we have just come from the restaurant. It seems pointless to go back again.
Dagmar's just going to order another drink.
So, everybody kind of makes the decision that they don't really want to go in the restaurant car where there was, where Magna was found deceased. So, everyone sort of scatters about the, train, the club car. And this is where they'll serve. The food for the evening. The young guy in the suit stays in the club car the whole time, kind of hovering by the door, being there for if anyone needs anything. But in the meantime, the food is served, and it is a delightful selection of very high class dishes that are cooked to absolute perfection.
Does anyone seem off or nervous at all? I suppose everyone's going to be a little bit off. They've just seen a body, but does anyone seem particularly either distressed or...
Give me an
nervous?
observation check.
Why put myself in this position?
Because you love it.
Because it brings all of us such joy.
Yay!
Yeah! Nice work.
You had your eyes open.
Okay. In your opinion, Colonel, everyone aboard this train seems to be acting unusually. Several people, so Caroline, the other doctor, Caroline, Annette, and the gentleman with Annette seem strangely calm about the whole situation. The bishop and magnificent Hugo seem very flustered by it. Like overly flustered by it. In summary, everyone seems suspicious.
Sus.
Sus. Everyone seems sus.
What about the
what-
staff? What about
Sorry,
the
go
barman?
ahead, Jack.
That's all right. Sorry, I was just asking about the barman.
The staff are like doing their best to act natural, to keep up the service for the guests, but they seem disturbed by it.
So I'd like to engage the barman to get a drink. And Bagman's just going to ask for some wine.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And he gets out the wine list and starts talking about, do you want white or red? And begins pouring you your selected wine.
While he's messing around getting wine and things, I want to take a look at the area where Magna was. The floor by the bar itself. Is there glasses? Was he definitely a drink? Is there anything there?
There are no glasses left. Like, everything has been kept super clean and tidy.
Okay. There's nothing on the floor.
And there is nothing on the floor there either.
Okay. So I guess as I'm sorting this drink out with the barman, Dagmar's going to ask the barman, this poor gentleman was stood right here but moments ago, chatting with that lady over there, and sort of subtly point over, I can't remember her name.
Annette.
Like, did you notice anything about their conversation? Did he seem okay?
If I'm going to be honest with you, everything seemed as usual. She got a few drinks for them both. And the conversation topic was, as is often between them.
Which is what?
They are close friends.
And she got the drinks for them.
Yes.
Interesting. Going to take my big old glass of wine and go and sit with Max.
Okay. Conversation murmurs, burbles and bubbles through the club car. Many people seem fixated at the evening's events, whilst others seem desperate to avoid talking or acknowledging them in any way. The food comes, is eaten, and goes. The drinks come. But there is an undeniable, somber attitude that presses in on the carriage. Some time passes before the arrival of the guard and the doctor. The guard walks into the room alongside the doctor and says, "Can I get all your attention, please? There's been a development, and here is your update. Doctor, if you'd be so kind." And the doctor steps forward. It is, in my honest opinion, and my professional opinion at that, that this death is indeed a suspicious one. And therefore, it would appear that one aboard the train has had a hand in the death of Magna Salmonson. Although there were no wounds about his person, I'm unable to do blood chemistry aboard the train, but it is clear from the biological signs that this is no natural demise.
How do you know that?
The body does not show the normal signs of natural causes of death.
Probably a swollen tongue or something like that. Discolorations.
The guard says, "Thank you, Doctor. Please take a seat." And he wanders over to join his wife. And the guard says, "As of now, no one is to leave the train. Please feel free to walk through the carriages, but you must remain aboard. As this is now a criminal investigation, I'll be asking questions and interviewing each of you. If anyone's got any information, please step forward. If not, feel free to approach me in your own time. I will be asking questions of the staff first, and then I will move on to the guests as necessary."
I doubt that will be necessary, for it must be one of the staff.
A very sensible approach. I agree. Well, if no one's got any more questions, I'll be heading out to start talking with the staff.
Are we allowed back into the restaurant car at all?
As I said, please feel free to roam about the train. Just don't alight.
Okay, thank you.
And then he heads out of the train carriage.
I'm with Lily. I'm just kind of like, to be a fly in the wall of those interviews would be most useful.
Agreed, but he talks as if it may be one of us, and I do not see how that is possible. But also that he wishes us to walk around with a murderer about. For that is what the doctor is saying.
The Colonel he kind of glosses over the fact he said about a murderer being on board because he's killed a lot of people. And just kind of looks around the train. He was a force to be reckoned with. Any one of these people he could have crossed in some way, and they felt it was time for retribution. I know my father, for one, wanted retribution after our deal broke up, but he never spoke of it.
But why now, though? He's just was a harmless old man.
My father appears as a harmless old man, but he can soon pull trade deals from anything. And very quickly, you are left in ruin with no friends, living on the street.
Agma's just going to call out to those two leaving,
Uh-huh.
just to say, before you go, can I just check something with you?
Yes, of course. What do you want?
You were the last person to speak to Magna before they passed into the restaurant room and sadly passed away. What happened? Or was he okay when you were talking with him?
He seemed fine. He was his normal self.
Normal self? So you've known Magna a long time then?
Yes, a very long time. We're old friends.
Where do you know each other from?
We were introduced together by a mutual acquaintance. And been friends ever since. He was a lovely gentleman. I don't think I've quite recovered from the shock.
Understandable. It must be hard.
My companion and I are going to try and alleviate some of these overwhelming emotions.
Very well. Apologies for stopping you.
No worries. And they leave the train car.
Dagmar's just going to very quietly say to Max I'm suspicious. She was the last person to be with Magna before he left the room. She was all over him, and she provided him with drinks. I feel like she may know something that could help.
The prime suspect, effectively.
It's a bit soon for that, surely. But it's a good place to start if we're to help the train guard.
Her and perhaps the man who came in to announce dinner. Depending on the method of death, of course. It could have been sudden.
True. Perhaps we should speak to the guard who did the announcement.
Indeed. I'm thinking I may need to just pop into the restaurant car.
The magician is here.
Is it time for Hide the Sausage with Dagmar?
No.
Yeah.
The magnificent Hugo sort of quite suddenly makes a rather hasty exit from the train. From the carriage.
Shall we take a look at the restaurant car, Max? Maybe we should ask the doctor, see if there's a little bit more information here as well.
Absolutely.
And look, the fabulous Lily has joined us too.
I've just come to also speak to the doctor.
Please, Lily, go first. You go ahead. You were here before we were.
Thank you. Dear Thomas, I know what the gardener said, but we have been friends long enough. what is your opinion? And I appreciate you haven't got all your equipment here, but I know something is troubling you. I can see it on your face. And I can see from your wife, she knows that something is troubling you.
Give me either an inspiration or a manipulation roll.
Let me think about which.
Get out those 25,000 dice.
Okay. Fair. He looks at you, Lily, and then he looks at the other people gathering around, and he says, "Very perceptive as always, Lily. However, I do not believe this is a conversation for an audience."
Shall we retire to your cabin?
I mean, we could grab one of the passenger one of the passenger rooms to discuss in private.
Seems a sensible idea. Excuse me, people. Thank you very much.
And both of the doctors kind of get up as if they're going to go with Lily.
I'm assuming it's to the right?
It is to the right. I'm going to see if I'm going to see what does everyone else do as they sort of begin to make this exit.
We were just coming to ask about how you know it's suspicious. And what are the signs of it not being or being suspicious and not natural, as he was a rather old gentleman. We won't obviously pass information around the train. That's insensitive.
Okay, Max, I'm going to need you. There's two options. Talk amongst yourselves to decide. Max, I need you to roll me a manipulation or an inspiration roll to get yourself into this to get all of you into this conversation. Or if you succeed, you'll get into the conversation. If you fail, you'll be left out. Or Lily can expend one of the extra successes to invite you all along. However, it will mean that there's only one success of information given.
Depends how badly she wants the Colonel.
So I'm just throwing that out there. You can either sacrifice one of your successes to get more people involved and less information, or Michael will have to roll.
Feeling like Michael, what's your manipulation or your inspiration like?
So both of them are 0.
Great.
But I do get 4 dice to roll.
Reasonable odds.
Because it's with empathy, so I have 4 empathy.
If
nothing.
Dagmar was to engage this conversation at the same time with Max, could Dagmar not take the role?
Yes. Yeah, I'd be happy.
Because I have a manipulation of 3.
No, chat aren't being very helpful at all.
That would also, if I'm assisting, would give you a +1 as well, Luke?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, Dagmar, feel free to do that manipulation or that inspiration roll, and you get a +1 because Max is helping.
Okay, are we all in agreement? That seems like the right way to go. And then Lily
gets
the key.
Leaf has just hindered you, so
Leaf
you don't
has
get
just-
the +1.
So I don't get +1.
So you don't get the plus
+1.
one because Leaf just hindered you.
Can someone please hang on? Let me just time Leaf out a second.
Would you like me to ban Leaf?
You can't.
got it, I
You
got
can't. Valuable member of the audience.
Damn it. That's fine. I'll roll anyway.
Oh,
Yeah!
yay! And Esther will bank that help for the next roll. Thank you very much.
Oh, look,
and
you've got
Krem.
loads of helps. Okay, so you've got two. So you've got. So you've got two. You've got two helps in the bank. Someone write that down, because please don't let me.
I have
try and
written
remember.
I have written it.
All right. In that case, so the doctor's going to sort of look at all of you, and then is going to say, "Okay, let's all of us find somewhere we can talk without an audience."
Well, yeah, because obviously Max does not trust the bishop.
All right. So all of you together leave the club car and head towards the passenger car. To do so, you have to head through the casino car. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drop you in the casino car so that you can see the inside. This is where Annette and the gentleman... I'm missing someone. Where did you go, Max? Oh, you're up there.
I'm there, yeah.
Aha! So that is where Annette and the gentleman are. You then maneuver into the... Uh-oh. Max. Max! Stop moving! God's sake.
Pesky little Max.
I know, right? So you all... You basically...
I
There's
get
not...
to sit on the Colonel's lap.
There's not loads of space in here, but it's quite wide,
job.
so you would all fit in here. There you go.
I think you're sat on the doctor's lap.
So you are all inside. So this is one of those like traveling compartments. The passenger car is entirely traveling compartments. So you're able to like close the door and it just be the six of you in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And once the door is closed, the doctor sort of looks at all of you and says, I will try and answer your questions as best I can.
Why do you consider it foul play? He did seem rather white.
He was completely pale, as if all the blood had drained out of him. I did check, and it hasn't. It's all withdrawn from the periphery, from his skin. The
What
look...
would cause that?
Well, there are several things that will cause this paleness or this diversion of the blood. It could be any number of poisons, toxins. Could be a pharmaceutical or a chemical agent. But there was something else. The tenseness of the face, the tenseness of the muscles. There was no way enough time for rigor to set in. This is going to sound mad, but If I had to give you my full professional opinion, I would say something scared him to death. Now that sounds a bit more horror story than it needs to. Scaring someone to death is someone in such advanced age. A simple anything that was enough of a shock could cause the heart to fail. But it certainly seems that he was frightened to death. I don't know how else to explain the symptoms, but it isn't natural. It is not a passing because of old age.
That is sad to know that his last moment on this world was fear.
I wonder what could have scared him that much. Colonel, you said that he was a friend of the family as such, and with all the things that you and your family have seen, most of the horrors of humanity, I would imagine.
I have seen the worst side of humanity. My father and Magnus has more seen the entrepreneurial atrocities that mankind can perform in each other. I can't say that I would know what would scare him quite like that. He was a very stern man.
Yes, he had quite a stern countenance about him. The other doctor
Give me, how did
chimed...
you sorry, how do you know Magnus?
I have been attending to his health for some time now.
How has his health been of late?
For someone of his age, he was surprisingly well and healthy. It is another reason I suspect foul play. The other doctor chimes up. If we're going to be talking about the facts, if someone did kill him, then it is someone aboard the train. I shan't be one to make frivolous accusations, but Thomas, dear, it could be someone in this room. We do not know everybody.
Well, that's you're correct.
This is true, Caroline, but we were all in the same room at the same time. And none of us had spoke to Magnus. Thomas,
I'd yet to make his acquaintance.
That's not quite true.
I had spoken to him.
Exactly. You spent some time with him at the bar, if I'm not mistaken.
I did. We reminisced on old times.
But if he had been frightened to death, then that wouldn't have occurred in the other room, surely. That would have, if one of us was part of that, that would have occurred in the bar room with us.
Fear can come in a number of formats. Threats, blackmail, people from the past best left forgotten. That Annette woman was there as well, says Thomas.
You know her?
Yes, I do know her. She is a frequent visitor to Magna.
She frequents quite a few parties.
Thomas's wife chimes in and says, "Yes, she certainly does attend a lot of parties, and she is quite direct and forthcoming with her approach."
Not a fan.
Oft do I find myself on the receiving end of that woman's attitude. I spend far more time with her than I would care to, if I'm honest.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Yes, well, it can't be helped. My husband needed to attend to Magna's health. It was just unfortunate that she was so oft there when we came for when we attended our appointments.
Why do you think she was there so much?
What my wife is trying to say is that Annette was very frequently at Magna's residence. And during our appointments, Annette would insist on providing tea.
Was her tea any good? I cannot see her making tea.
I'm
It was
afraid
done in the microwave.
I'm afraid that you would be somewhat correct there.
Always have tea with her when she served it. If the tea was that bad, or did you refuse more often?
With Magna being such an esteemed client, it seemed rude to decline her hospitality.
Do you think you will be able to obtain any more information from Magnus's body?
Not until we reach the next town, I'm afraid.
So must live in fear until we are at the next town.
What makes you say that?
You talk of it being suspicious, and Caroline has said that the killer may even be one of us. So, how do we make sure that we are safe until then?
Do you believe the killer may be intent on killing more of the guests? Is that what you're trying to suggest?
It would depend along the lines of if someone was able to identify that it was foul play, why would they want to find out what it was if they had more equipment? It is sad to say that you may well have painted a target on your own back.
I had not thought about it that way. You make a very valid point. Do you have any more questions? It has been quite an evening, and I feel it would be good to do something to brighten the mood.
I only have one more question. Do you think that it could be some sort of old world type of poison rather than new world type of poison, i.e. herbal?
I mean, it could be. I'm not familiar enough with the world of plant poisons, but I know that there are many of them.
And how easy is it to scare somebody to death? Asking for a friend.
You just need to trigger the fear response enough that the heart gives out. The older the person, the weaker their heart.
That makes sense. Thank you very much.
Well, if you will excuse us, we most certainly would like to...
Yes, thank you for your time and being
Please.
so open with us.
You are welcome.
Thank you, Thomas and Caroline. It is always a pleasure talking with you.
Both of the doctors get up and make their way, out of the cabin. And they slide the door closed behind them. And it leaves the four of you alone in this travelling compartment.
Must be said that they make a very good point. It is obvious to me that with my family connection and the way that our deals separated, I will at least look like a suspect.
I think we all have connections in some way to him to all be suspects.
Max and Dagmar do not. They are my guests. They have never met him before. But that does bring me to the next question that I did have. Lady, what is your connection to Magnus?
We have met at many parties and have spent time together, socializing and enjoying one another's company. I hate to put it so bluntly, but it is more of an acquaintance. But he seems to enjoy my company, and I his. He has many tales from his past that he would share, and I would happily listen. He has also introduced me to many different people.
Is she telling the truth?
Oh. Okay. This will be a contested role. Lily, manipulation from you and observation from Max. Oh, and there's a help.
Oh yeah, and there's also 2 helps banked
There are
as
so
well.
many helps. There are so many helps banked. We've had a help. Helping.
Who are you helping, Battersby?
Yeah, that's the question.
Myself or Charlie?
I've just rolled.
Ooh.
It's alright, we can re-roll.
Oh yeah, that's the real question. Who is being
To tell if it's the truth, so that would be
it's
Max.
Max. Okay,
Um,
roll your observation with your +1.
I will do. Ha! No. Fuck knows.
Okay, so that means, Max, that as far as you're concerned, Lily is telling the truth.
Yeah. I still don't know what her name is.
You've not asked me.
I'm not important enough.
Max is very unlikely to ask you even if you were important.
Max, you probably overheard me address her as Lily.
Most probably, but you could be talking about a houseplant for all Max knows.
Very good point. And I've had quite lots to drink by this point.
To which Max will have noticed. That
Lily
willingness.
Okay.
Do you like to socialize with at the gatherings?
I socialize with many people. Due to my family, I don't like to brag about it, but I am a descendant of the Dutch royals, long descendant. So I go out as part of the family to deal with the socialization of the name, because not all of them have the time, and I can do more of the work that is required with the name. So it depends who is there and who is not.
Other than your socializing with Magnus, do you have any business, or even your family have any business with him?
Probably. It is not my area that I have taken much interest in. I leave that to my brother and other relatives to deal with that side of the family. I am not good with business elements.
I potentially know her brother.
You would all recognize the name.
Mm.
It's a very important, noble name. So yes, you probably would. You probably would not necessarily recognize the people themselves, but you certainly would know the family.
Okay.
What time is it?
It is actually getting into the evening. You're quite deep into the evening at this point. So it has started to get dark outside.
And what time of year is it?
You have just come out of summer and you're into that early autumn where things are only just starting to turn.
So it's getting dark. Actually, dark, not summer dark where it doesn't get dark.
Yeah.
I don't know about you three, but I'm thinking I might go and get changed for this evening.
Oh, is it already that time again?
The lights, I believe, have just turned on.
You're just looking for an excuse to wear your dinner cape, aren't you?
Always.
It would be interesting to find out what our magician friend is wearing cape-wise.
Thought I was going to be the only one with capes.
I lean over and just go to Max. I think your cape is lovely.
Thanks.
Friend for life.
It's like a puppy you've just given a treat to. It's like, ha, cupboard love, cupboard love.
The magician did look very uncomfortable and disturbed. I do hope they're okay.
Might be his first death.
There are two things, or two people that particularly stand out for connections. One, how quickly he decided to leave the magician. And the second that confuses me on reflection is the priest or the bishop. Being a sorry, Luke, don't know what his Magnus's faith was. I'm assuming.
Yeah, Magnus wasn't very he was not one of those. He was not one of those kind of people. His faith was money.
And the church is a bank.
Still seems weird to have invited a bishop on board this trip.
It's more the fact that the bishop didn't try to give him any last rites or pray for him of any kind. And sat back in the corner of all things.
Colonel Dagmar, I wonder if you might join me in my cabin. I just need you to check my cape is correct before we head out for evening meal.
Sure. You know I'm always happy to assist you with your cape crises.
Thank you.
And I must get changed for this evening's entertainment as well.
Did I hear correct? Hide the sausage.
I do believe that is our entertainment for this evening, yes.
And Dagmar, you're assisting.
Yes, I'm very excited. You're going to love this trick.
I am
I have a
very
feeling I
intrigued.
might.
I must look my best. I bid you good
My
evening
lady.
until later.
Yes, we shall see you later.
So you're all heading to your rooms, yeah?
I'm gonna keep Dagmar and the Colonel back.
Okay. Your room is that way. Lily. Yes, that's the ticket.
I think that's probably a door.
You have to go like all the way to the end. This is the passenger cabin. That's
Apologies.
the ticket. You'll have to make your way through the viewing. carriage. Colonel Dagmar, Max?
There is something that I wanted to ask you whilst we were alone. And it wasn't about my cape. We are on a train together. And somebody has been scared to death. The question must be asked whether or not this is Vaesen related.
Thought had crossed my mind as well.
I'm thinking I might peer across the hedge in my cabin and just see if anybody answers.
I trust your instincts, Max, and I know that you'd keep yourself safe.
Always.
But that does also raise one more thing I hadn't thought of until now. Of course, Vaesen don't appear to your normal person. It'd be a great way to, shall we say, hide the sausage.
Hire a Vaesen to kill your target.
That, or if you're a magician, to be able to do tricks with a Vaesen who can't be seen. And then allow that Vaesen to then kill someone.
If only there was a way to take our library with us.
I wish we were a bit more prepared for this.
Working holiday.
That was already for me anyway.
Now just in different work.
Are you guys going to start heading back towards your room?
Yeah, after
Yes.
that conversation, yes.
All right, I will.
Yes.
I shall throw thee into the corridor. It is that direction to your rooms. As you begin walking along, begin walking along, it starts to get sort of like the dark of evening. And I will throw you across. You cross into the other carriage where you find, where you catch up with Lily, who was in sort of, Lily's not in any rush. Lily, sauntered through the carriage. So you catch up with Lily. But as you cross through the carriages, as you cross through your carriages and enter into the viewing carriage, night has fallen, but a strange light begins to filter in through the windows. A peculiar twilight purple that beams across the room. Strange and ominous. Lily, do you open the doors into the viewing carriage?
Ooh. Have I ever seen this sort of light before?
No, probably not. It's very unusual.
I want to look back to see if the others that have just sort of appeared behind me have also noticed the light, or whether it is just me that can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Trust
Just
me,
by-
you know Max can see it. He's gone like, oh, what's making this really pretty? pretty light.
Hello again. I do not know. I think it's coming from in here. And yeah, I'd like to just crack the door open.
Okay.
Do it.
As you crack the door open, I am going to need everybody to make me
Fuck.
an empathy. Well, it's a fear test. So either you roll logic or empathy, however you want to try and deal with the situation, and I will describe what you see.
Who wants to take the advantages?
We have 2 helps.
Yeah.
What is everybody's logic and empathy?
My empathy's 5, so I'm happy to
5.
not take help.
You've both got 5, so myself and the Colonel, if everybody's okay.
Okay.
Yep.
The door
Perfect.
swings open to reveal the viewing car. A red carpet circles the room, through which the centre is a large wooden bench festooned with cushions. It is a space designed entirely for you to sit and look out the grand windows that line the sides of the carriage. A strange purple light lilts in through the windows, casting an eerie glow throughout the carriage. You see the magician collapsed on the bench, floating above him as if suspended in water, effortless and unbound by gravity, is a creature the likes you have never seen. It is nearly transparent, and yet this ominous purple light bounces through its form in a way that gives it substance, in a way that makes it less of an illusion, less of a mirage, and more of a floating creature with a transparency. It hovers there, gazing down at the magician. It is like a skinless child, with eyeless sockets in its skull. And it floats there horrifically above. It floats there horrifically above the magician. Max, the Colonel, and Lily, you succeed on your fear test. Dagmar, you do not, and are going to take a mental condition from this horrific sight before you.
Okay, so just to sanity check something, because in the previous chapter I ended with a frightened condition. That resets?
It
or
resets,
do I keep it?
yes. No, it's reset.
Okay, I'm going to take a frightened condition.
Okay. And as all of you stand there transfixed by this unnatural scene, you know what's coming.
Yep.
That's where we're going to end this evening's session. Yeah.
I saw the time.
I'm so glad that you guys went that way, because if you'd have gone in the other direction, you would not have. When all of you were like, we're going to go to our room, I was like, yes, do it.
Glad to have been helpful for you.
Absolutely. I'm living for it. Perfect.
And Lily is a Thursday's child.
Yes, because Lily can also see this thing.
Oh, Chaos is like, hinder! Thanks.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Chaos.
Right, well, a huge thank you to everybody that joined us this evening. I'm going to do a whip round of our cast so that they can do their thing. Divin Inc., who are you? Who did you play? Where can we find you? What do you want to say? That's right, I've got
You're getting good at that catchphrase now,
got
aren't
it
you?
down as a catchphrase.
You got it down. Well, thank you. So I'm Dan, also known as Divin Inc. Tonight I've been playing Dagmar Eriksson. I can be found on Twitch, streaming mostly Sea of Thieves, but sometimes other games as well. At Divin Inc. I can be found on many other platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram under the name Divin Inc.
Awesome. The Colonel. Same question. Who are you? Who did you play? Where can we find you? What do you want to say?
Yep. So I'm Jack. I've been playing Lieutenant Colonel Bartholomew Seaton. You can find me on Instagram under jmbarber_the Colonel. And yeah, just thank you everyone. Thank you Luke for a fantastic game, and thank you chat for being so involved. That was a bit of a roller coaster
Definitely.
there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Mutinous Mikey, same questions.
Hi, I'm Mike. I've been playing Maximilian Fiobliak. Why I gave myself such a mouthful of a name, no ideas. You can find me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, under Mutinous_Mikey. I am looking to get a MySpace as well, just for the old schools.
MySpace!
And a Bebo?
Yeah, and a Weibo as well. Yeah,
Yeah, get one of
hit
them.
that Chinese social media.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I stream a couple of times a week playing random games, and you can generally find me here every Sunday. So yeah, thank you very much, DM and players.
Thank you. And last but by no means least, our new face. We have a new, you might have all spotted, we have a new cast member among us now. So, Charlie, who are you? Who did you play? Where can we find you? What do you want to say?
So yeah, I'm Charlie. I have been playing Lily Holstein Romanov, and yeah, you just won't find me anywhere. I'm a social person on that side of things. I sometimes stream Twitch with Mutinous Mikey and other people in the Discord for a bit of fun. But yeah, I'm not particularly out there. Thank you so much for inviting me today and being such a great chat. It's been brilliant fun, and looking forward to seeing how this pans out and what Lily does.
And bring your Lily. Your Lily was amazing.
So good, right? Absolutely so good. Honestly, I cannot wait. I realised that I am also a being and probably should answer my own questions. I'm Loki. I have been your game master for this ridiculousness. You can find me here on Twitch at the Society, and all of our social media links, which are lurking around. If you look underneath us in the Twitch, you can find all the social media links. So if you're catching up on YouTube, they're in the YouTube bio bit. You can find all of our social media links there. And that's where you can find us. If you are interested in seeing me not being the GM and instead being a player, I stream with Grumpy Battersby every other Thursday, where I play Flink, a hacker in the AD 2000 Judge Dredd game over on Grumpy Battersby's channel. So if you want to come and see me being a player and picking on a DM, please head on over. It would be great to have you. And that's all of us. I'm going to say a huge thank you. You're over here. I'm going to say a huge thank you to all of the players. Legitimately, you bring I set the stage and you bring it to life for me, and you what a session this evening has been. So a huge thank you to all of you. I'm actually a little bit gutted that I planned on dispatching with the magician before we could do the hide the sausage trick. I'll try and think of some way of I'll find some way of reviving the hide the sausage trick. I don't know. Maybe you can find the props or something as clues.
Yeah, because Dagmar has seen the trick before.
Yeah, I'll try.
I didn't realise I had to follow up.
So good.
With lots more in detail ideas.
Set me up, will you? Like, here's the stage. Off you go. But yeah, a huge thank you. I'm so excited. Huge thank you to our cast members. Massive, massive clap for all of you. We're just going to head over quickly to our credit roll because I'm just going to say thank you to a few more things and then we'll be ready to do our raid. By cast, and we have hit the credits. Here we are. All of the people that we really value who have contributed to the stream are going to appear just over here on our credit reel. So please do head over, check them out. If you are playing games as well, you can use all of these resources in your games just as we use them in ours. To give you a quick rundown / warning shot of what we are doing. We have the festive season coming up, so we will be live next week where we will be carrying on with our Trans-Nordic Express murder mystery story. We are going to be doing a Christmas special on the 18th of December. We are going to be playing A Nightmare Before Christmas, which is going to be a rather festive-themed alien one-shot. And that will be us going on Christmas break after that for the Yule and festive season and all those things. So we will be able to advise you then when we will be returning in the new year. So please do come back next week to see more of chapter 4 and then the week after for our Nightmare Before Christmas one shot. I believe that is all of the information I have. So let's get ourselves ready to raid. Let's do this. /raid. I'm going to listen to the voices that appear in my mind and do, almost like Ouija style, tell me where we're going. /raid. Oh God, I've got to try and spell. Unofficial, Jesus, I can't spell. Unofficial dragon, all one word. Unofficial dragon page. Age. Day. Unofficial dragon age day. Ooh. Okay, so we've got some absolute lovelies playing D&D who are raising some money for the Trans Empowerment project. Awesome. Let's head over there and go and support these guys with... Well, I'm going to hit the button. Let's see what happens. They have disabled raids. Fiends. Well, they're out there if anyone's interested. No one can hear what I have to put up with during this. Okay. What are they playing? The Blade Runner. Oh, okay. We're gonna raid over to some of our regular lovelies that we raid into, and our Free League friends. They are playing the Blade Runner RPG, which is Free League's brand new RPG game. Vaesen is, as we all know, Vaesen is a Free League game, so we like to support our Free League friends. Let's hit that button and head over to the raid. All right. So that's us calling out. I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone once again for coming along. I'm going to say goodbye to all of you now, and I will see you next week. Let's head over with the raid.